Directing traffic, gonna go deep, has a man deep, it is! Caught for the touchdown!
Zach escapes pressure, Zach tucks in and runs. Zach Wilson's loose, Zach Wilson's running, he's got all day, he stays in bounds! Zach Wilson caught it! Zach Wilson gets in the end zone for the touchdown!
Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. We live here to talk about the New York Jets. It's off-season talk. We got a video from Zach Wilson's Instagram today of him working out with Braxton Berrios and Michael Carter. As you can see, the video on loop to my left. To your right, my left. But yeah, guys, I wanted to go live to talk about what's going on with these New York Jets in the offseason, what we can expect heading into the NFL draft, get into the chat, answer any questions that you guys may have. And yeah, man, just talk some football because we are less than 4 weeks away, less than a month away, or should I say exactly 4 weeks from today is the NFL draft where the New York Jets are going to kill it. Yes, I said it. The New York Jets are going to kill the NFL draft. And yeah, man, I wanted to go live and talk some Jets with you guys. So I'm excited to be live. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And let's get the show on the road, baby. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday afternoon because I am. All I know is that video of Zach Wilson training with Carter and Berrios got me a little hyped up. I love seeing training videos, seeing Zach Wilson develop that continuity, develop that chemistry with those guys. It's a great sign, man. It's a great sign to see Zach Wilson out there with his two playmakers that he's developing chemistry with in Braxton Berrios and Michael Carter. He was in Nashville training with Corey Davis. Next, he's got to go and find out where Elijah Moore is. We know that Elijah Moore's somewhere on the beach, snagging balls with one hand. We all saw that footage. What did you guys think about that? But yeah, man, we're live here on Jets Media spontaneously. And I'm excited to break it down. I'm excited to talk to you guys in the chat. So what's good? Let's see what the chat's saying. What up, John? Welcome in, my man. Daniel, welcome into the stream. JETS. Matthias, what's up? George, what's up, man? What up, Shock? Zach looks more mature in that video. He's maturing before our very eyes. He's gaining some muscle. Do you think Zach is looking at these draft players and who do you think he would want? O-line, wide receiver, or edge? He's probably looking at the receivers for sure. The receiving class is pretty deep, and I know that we all know that Joe Douglas is willing to add another big-time receiver, whether that's via the trade market or the NFL draft. So I think that's where Zach's looking. Zach needs to get thick. He's on his way there, man. He's a raw, young player that's developing not only as a football player, but developing his body. His physical body is going to be growing. And I feel like he's already putting on some more muscle, which is a great sign for our young quarterback entering year number 2 for the New York Jets. Elijah's at JD's crib trying to get A.J. Brown. Ooh, that would be sick. We need A.J. Brown. That is the one player that I wanted to talk about actually in this stream. About if there's one player that could be available in the trade market that I would want more than anybody else, it's A.J. Brown for so many different reasons. One of the reasons is his chemistry already with Elijah Moore. He has a deep brotherhood between him. He also was teammates with Corey Davis at Tennessee, and that's when Corey Davis had his best season of his career next to A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown's also a dynamic number 1 receiver in this league. And can you imagine the receiving room of A.J. Brown, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios, and Denzel Mims? And a rookie that we draft later on? That gets me so excited, but I don't want to get excited because that's probably not going to happen. So I'm not getting my hopes up on that. It feels like a dream that's too good to be true. And, yeah. George says, best part about this video, it seems like the connection these young Jets have is effortless. I agree, George. I feel like the one thing about these young Jets, especially on the offensive side of the ball, is that they have a deep chemistry together where they enjoy being around each other. They enjoy training together. They enjoy being teammates, not only as football players, but as friends. You know, you can see the development of the friendships, especially between Zach Wilson and Braxton Berrios. And that goes a long way, man. You want to see your players develop their friendships off the field because that develops chemistry on the field, and they get really comfortable with their tendencies. They know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and that's what this is all about. I mean, watching Zach Wilson sling this rock around is just a thing of beauty. You know, we all know that he has that fluid arm motion, and it's great to see him out there slinging it in Miami with Braxton and Michael Carter, and it's just awesome. I wish that we can see a video of every single Jets player out there with him, like Corey Davis, Denzel, and all the other playmakers like CJ Uzomah and Tyler Conklin. But we'll get those footages when OTAs come around. You feel me? Zach Attack this year, pending trademark. Yeah, I like that. Zach Attack is coming to New York, baby. So I want to talk about Zach Wilson real quick and break down what he needs to do in order to take that next step in year number 2 with the New York Jets. And I want to hear your thoughts about Zach Wilson as well. What do you want to see from him that really will take his game to another level? And he looks like a player that is going to be a young, rising star quarterback in the NFL. I think the simplistic way to do this is Zach Wilson, and Robert Saleh said it best, he needs to understand the playbook and understand the scheme like the back of his hand, because when that becomes a reality, when the quarterback just knows the system instinctually without thinking, that's when Zach Wilson's going to play at his best. We saw Joe Flacco, Josh Johnson, and Mike White all execute this offense at a really high level. And I think the reason why is because the scheme works. And all you need to do is know the scheme, know where the ball's supposed to go, know the protections, know the defensive looks that they're showing. And when you have a mindset of understanding the scheme, your talent just gets unlocked even more. And I feel like Zach Wilson needs to start playing within the structure of the offense, which will eventually allow him to break free and do some, creative things off schedule that we all know that Zach Wilson's easy to do. So that's what I'm really looking forward to the most from Zach Wilson in year number 2. Continuity is going to be a big-time reason why I think Zach Wilson takes a big step as well. Going into the same system, he doesn't have to learn new verbiage. He doesn't have to learn new tendencies with his player. He doesn't have to learn new plays. It's all going to be the same. And he's already got chemistry with the players that are coming back. The only 2 players that he needs to gain chemistry with is just 2 new tight ends and a new receiver we're going to bring in, whether that's a trade or the draft. So the continuity factor is a big-time reason why I'm excited to see what Zach Wilson does in year number 2 in the system. Not only with the players around him, but the system is the same. I absolutely love it. Zach gets 4,000 yards and joins Joe Willie Namath. John, if this happens, whew. If Joe Douglas can get one of these wide receivers, AJ, Cook, or DK, with who we already have, this offense could be scary. Yes, that's the crazy thing about this offense, guys, is we are a true number 1 receiver away from having a legit offense. Like, you look at it on paper, and you're like, there's no holes anymore, right? We have an ascending young running back in Michael Carter that we're all excited about. We have 2 legit tight ends all of a sudden in CJ Uzomah and Tyler Conklin. The 5 offensive linemen are set in stone. I think we all know that. The only person that is up for grabs is Connor McDermott. If you want to move on from him, we still can in the draft. And we still need to add depth on the offensive line. We have our quarterback in Zach Wilson. And the wide receiver room, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios, Denzel Mims. And I feel like we add one more big-time receiver to that wide receiver room. That's it. The offense is set. And then you just got to go all in on defense for the rest of the draft. And I love what we see on the offensive side of the ball because this stream is going to be more offensive centric. I want to talk about the offensive side of the ball because I feel like we might see a little special, something special from the New York Jets on the offensive side of the ball this year, especially if the New York Jets go out there and get aggressive and get a guy like A.J. Brown. Because what A.J. Brown will do to this offense, we have no idea. Not only will A.J. Brown be a dynamic player for Zach Wilson, but it will open things up for Elijah Moore and Corey Davis way more, right? Elijah Moore's not going to get double teamed. Corey Davis is not going to get double teamed. Michael Carter, they're not going to be able to stack the box because we have 3 legit weapons on the outside. And the crazy thing about this is Joe Douglas knows this. Joe Douglas knows that we are one big-time receiver away from this offense having all the weapons you need. We have a star in the making of Michael Carter at the running back spot. We have a beast of Braxton Berrios being that slot receiver. Go out there and get a true number 1 star receiver through the trade market and watch this offense take flight. Now, the good news is if the Jets do not get a receiver in the trade market, say A.J. Brown gets extended and DK Metcalf gets extended and the Jets are not able to find a trade partner, we have the draft capital in order to bring in a number 1 receiver in the NFL draft. Whether that being Jameson Williams at 10, Garrett Wilson at 10, Drake London, Treylon Burks, Christian Watson. I'll tell you this, if we don't trade for a receiver, one of those receivers I just mentioned will be a New York Jet and add them to the wide receiver room that we already have. And I absolutely love it, man. We've never seen the Jets team in so damn long with so much young offensive talent, which is why the New York Jets, I think, are destined to have a big season offensively. I think the defense is where all the questions are for me. I mean, we're coming off a season of being last in the NFL in every single statistical category on defense. 32nd. That's inexcusable. We need to be able to play defense in order to contain these high-powered offenses in the AFC. But the good thing is the offense for the New York Jets is trending in the right direction where we're going to be able to keep up with these offenses as we hope. Zach Wilson needs to take that next step, and we need to continuously add playmakers around him. And Joe Douglas is doing just that. Joe Douglas learned from his mistake with Sam Darnold by not giving him the proper, playmakers and protection. He's trying to spoil Zach Wilson with that. And let's do it. 2 tight ends? Sign me up. Not to mention what AJ does for the run game. Absolutely. He's a great blocker, and you can even hand the ball off to AJ Brown. If no number 1 free agent, then Jameson Williams and Christian Watson, get Linderbaum, trade back. I don't think we're going to draft 2 receivers early unless, I could be wrong, but I think there's so many holes on this team where the Jets are not going to draft like a receiver at 10 and a receiver at 35. I know some people are like, get Treylon Burks and Watson. Get Jameson Williams and Watson. Get this player and that player. I think we're going to get 1 big-time receiver and then go defense. If we do not trade our draft picks and we go into the NFL draft with all of our picks, I think it's going to be edge at 4, receiver at 10, and then defense in the second round with both picks. If they don't trade back up into the first round and get someone that falls, right? Even with proper weapons, Sam wouldn't be great. Yeah, I agree, Amari. But I still want to get the proper weapons for Zach so we can see what he can do because the weapons is such a big deal, man. You see what Joe Burrow is doing with the weapons that he has. And yes, Joe Burrow is a phenomenal talent, but there's no denying that the weapons that he has around him with Jamar Chase, Higgins, Boyd, had CJ Uzomah, now he's with us, Joe Mixon. The weapons helps out your young quarterback. Justin Herbert has Keelan Allen. He has Mike Williams. He has Eckler. He's got weapons around him. Josh Allen gets Stephon Diggs. He takes that next step. Patrick Mahomes has had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. All these young quarterbacks that are like stars now have really good playmakers around them. And there's no excuse for the New York Jets to not do the same exact thing. And that's exactly what they're doing, man. That's exactly what they're doing. Guys, if you're just tuning in, make sure you smash that thumbs up button for your boy. We got 25 likes with 76 people watching. Let's get to 50 likes so we can get as many Jets fans in here on the show. So, guys, I want to let you know I will be away next week on vacation with my family. I'm going to Mexico. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm turning 24 years old tomorrow. Pretty crazy stuff. and then I'm going to Mexico for a week. I'm going to bring my equipment. So I'm going to try to be consistent with content as much as I can. I'm going to try to go live here and there. I'm going to try to make videos. But if you guys notice that I'm not as consistent as I used to be, it's because I am away on vacation, and I'll try to do the best that I can to bring you guys the best content from another country. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do the best that I can in order to do that, man. I'm excited. So that's why I wanted to make sure I go live today to talk with you guys and keep you updated on what's going on in my life and what's going on with this YouTube channel. So yeah, birthday's tomorrow, and I'm excited to give you guys some Mexico content on the beach. Definitely need that, man. Appreciate all the birthday wishes in the chat, man. Appreciate all the birthday wishes in the chat. So let's open this up to a Jets Q&A. Anything you guys want me to talk about regarding the New York Jets, let me know. Remember, Super Chats go first. You get to skip the line if you send in a Super Chat, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can throughout the live stream. Appreciate all the birthday wishes in the chat. Appreciate it. I'm going out to get wings tonight with my boys, Jack and all my friends. Celebrate. It's actually Jack's birthday on Saturday and my birthday tomorrow. Jack and I share birthdays back to back, which is pretty cool, right? So it's really like a dead time right now for the Jets and the NFL. It's kind of like in terms of news, right? We're in this period of just waiting for the draft. Free agency is pretty much over. There are a lot of free agents still available, like big names, to be honest. But we have a sense that the Jets are kind of done. And the only thing the Jets are trying to do right now is prepare for the draft and call all these teams to potentially trade for a guy, DK Metcalf or A.J. Brown, right? That's the only thing that we can do right now as Jets fans is sit back and wait for the NFL draft. And that's why I want to go live, because anything hypothetical stuff that you guys want to bring up and talk about, I love it, man. I love it. Ragnar Jet says, Richie, which tackle you wanting for Becton Insurance and depth? Happy birthday tomorrow. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I think in the NFL draft, we're going to tackle this position. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be a player that falls into the third round. It could be a player that falls into the second round that Joe Douglas absolutely loves. I think we're definitely going to get our swing tackle in the draft. I think that's the plan. We're going in with Fant and Becton as our starting tackles. And then don't be shocked if the Jets draft an offensive tackle earlier than most people expect, because we need depth. We need someone that can really develop under Fant and Becton, because Fant's not going to be here long term unless they really want to extend him if he has another really good season. So don't be shocked. What do I think about Solomon Thomas getting signed? This is a player that I wanted the Jets to sign before free agency began. Not because he's going to take this defense to another level, but it just made way too much sense to bring in a guy in Solomon Thomas who's been with Robert Saleh, a former third overall pick, has a lot of potential still, in my opinion, coming off a full bill of health last year with the Raiders, and is going to be in the rotation. I think it's a no-brainer, a cheap one-year contract, low risk, high reward. We need rotations. We need bodies on the defensive line. I'll take this all day, every day. What about McLaurin? Yeah, that's another player we got to keep an eye on. He's entering the final year of his contract. We don't know if Washington's willing to pay him or not. If he's open, if he is on the trade block, Joe Douglas should 100% be calling him and say, hey, what you want? What you want for Scary Terry? Because we want a big-time receiver on this team. Going to unlock this offense, man. Drake London Pro Day April 5th. Hell yeah, man. Excited for that. Jaw says, we want to see improvement from Zach. I doubt they replace McGovern with the Rook, so why waste a top pick on a center? It will be edge, D-line, wide receiver, linebacker in first, depending on who falls or if they trade down. Yeah, very interesting stuff here from Jaw. I agree. The only way that the Jets get a center in the draft, I think, is if they trade back up into the first round and take Linderbaum, or they trade back from 10 and take Linderbaum. More of a long-term approach, because Connor McGovern is a guy that I don't really see on this Jets team for the long run. So I feel like if they do draft a Tyler Linderbaum, it's more for the long haul. They want to really solidify this offensive line and gain continuity for the long term. That's the only way I can see it happening, unless they fall in love with Zion Johnson as well and they transition him to center. We know that the Senior Bowl, they asked Zion Johnson to take snaps there, so we'll see. Richie, who do you have a list of possible backup tackles that are free agents that we could sign? I don't know. I'll look it up right now. I don't know who's still available. NFL tackles, free agents. I'm sure there's still a bunch. Remember, we signed Morgan Moses in the middle of the season, or in the middle of the summer, rather. So Nate Solder still out there. Dwayne Brown. J.C. Treader is the center that's still available. Brian Balaga. LDT still out there. Eric Fisher. Alex Lewis is still unsigned. Brandon Shell, former Jet. Trey Turner is a guard. Richie Incognito. Jason Peters is a still free agent. I mean, he's 40 years old, though. So, I mean, there's still people available that the Jets might be bringing in, so we'll see what happens. Yo, what up, Ali? Ali's in the chat. Come pull up to the stream, Ali. I'd love to have you on here if you're not busy. Scary Terry would be amazing. Yes, he would. Do you prefer JFM on the inside or edge? Great question, Amari. I like him everywhere. I think he's more suited to be on the inside, but the best part about John Franklin Myers is that he's versatile enough to do both. He can line up on the inside. He can line up on the outside. He had a lot of big-time plays on the outside last year. A lot of people don't realize that he's a player that can do everything, and that's exactly the reason why the Jets paid him. We're very lucky that John Franklin Myers got that extension, guys. I know some Jets fans are upset with that extension, which doesn't make sense to me. Because if we did not give that extension, we would have to overpay him in free agency, or he'd be walking out the door, and all of a sudden we have a big-time hole on the defensive line. So, very happy with John Franklin Myers, and I prefer him on the inside. I want to draft a guy in Kayvon Thibodeau at 4, or Jermaine Johnson, or Trayvon Walker, and have John Franklin Myers and Quinton Williams as the D tackles, Carl Lawson and a rookie edge rusher on the D line. That's my starting 4 that I prefer. Ali's chilling in class. Enjoy class, man. Did you see that funny New York Post with a funny news story about Zach? Yes, I did. And then Zach's mother came out and said that he doesn't even know this woman. That's just the media seeing Zach Wilson trying to make a story out of nothing. Mims and Davis could be gone after this year. They have to double dip at receiver this year. All they would have is more Berrios and a bunch of Jags after this season. Yeah, best case scenario for me is they trade for a receiver, like a big time one, and pay him like an AJ Brown or a DK, and then you draft a receiver, and then that's what happens. But people have to realize that if Corey Davis has a good season this year, which we all should be rooting for, there's no reason why we should move on from Corey Davis, right? Why would we create a hole if Corey Davis, now? But on the other hand, if Corey has another disappointing season, then yeah, you move on from him and create cap space. But there's no reason why we should be rooting for the Jets to move on from Corey Davis, because that means he had a disappointing season. We want Corey Davis to have a big-time year this season. That will only do great things for this NFL, for this Jets offense, right? And I think the biggest way to unlock Corey Davis is to go get A.J. Brown. Because what A.J. Brown or a DK Metcalf will do to this offense is you can't even put it into words. It's going to open up Corey Davis. The reason why Corey Davis had such a great season with the Tennessee Titans 2 seasons ago is because A.J. Brown was the number one guy, and it opened up Corey Davis because they were focusing on A.J., and then Corey got open. So Mims could definitely be a goner if he does not show up, but I wouldn't be shocked if Corey Davis is back this year. I would not be shocked. I'm so hyped as well, John. Let's go. If we don't draft the safety, who should be the other starter? If we don't draft the safety, it's probably going to be Whitehead and Joyner, if I had to guess. And then for depth, it'll be Ashton Davis, maybe Pinnock, Parks. But I definitely want to draft the safety. I think they will. Jets can draft one wideout this year and next year. I think that's exactly what they're going to do, Zachary. They're going to draft the receiver every single draft. I think Joe Douglas is going to draft a running back and a receiver every single draft. That'll be smart, keeping those playmakers' legs fresh, keeping them on rookie contracts. That's exactly what good organizations do, is drafting the same position later in the draft over and over and over again. Kind of similar to like what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. I always use them as an example. You ever notice that they always have a pipeline of receivers coming out? It's because they're always drafting one in the second round or third round every damn year. Let's do that. Happy birthday, Richie. I appreciate that, Andrew. I've heard Devontae Parker was available via trade. What do you think about possibly acquiring him for a mid-round pick? Yeah, I think this is like last case scenario for the Jets. If they strike out on an A.J. Brown or a DK deal or McLaurin or a Deebo Samuel, then maybe going out there and getting a Devontae Parker for a mid-round pick. I would be a little skeptical because he is very injury-prone, and I do not want to give up capital for a guy that cannot stay in the field. Corey Davis is a 2, and the hope is more as a 1. Mims wakes up. Adding Brown or Williams would be huge. Yeah, Corey Davis is definitely a number 2. I think this season proved that he is not a traditional number 1 receiver, and that is okay because Corey Davis thrives when you have a true number 1 receiver on the roster, and he can be the guy next to him and be the Robin to the Batman. Lawson and Dibbs on edge. John Franklin Myers and Quinnen with Thomas to back up would be a great young core. Also, John Franklin Myers is more naturally an interior defensive lineman, but they put him on edge because of injury. Yeah, absolutely. I think John Franklin Myers is going to do wonders this season. I think this is going to be his best year of his career. Richie, what do you think of trading Ford to the Giants for 7 and James Bradbury? This is interesting. I don't really think this is what am I trying to say? I'd rather the Jets can just stay with Bryce Hall and draft an edge at 4. I don't think this would be smart. I like James Bradbury. He's definitely a really good player, but I love Bryce Hall. And I feel like Jets fans need to realize that we do not really have a hole on the cornerback room. We got DJ Reed, and we have Bryce Hall and Brennan Eccles. Would Sauce Gardner be great? I absolutely love Sauce Gardner. That's not what I'm saying. But I prefer to develop and give Bryce Hall that starting job than trading back and getting a guy like James Bradbury, in my opinion. What's the possibility of Hamilton at 4 and Karlaftis at 10? Thoughts? I'll give you my honest thoughts. I would be very upset if this is what the New York Jets do in the first round. I do not want Kyle Hamilton at 4 and George Karlaftis at 10. I'll be straight up honest with you. No thank you. But I like the hypothetical scenario, of course. Happy birthday, homie. Thanks, man. Birthday is tomorrow, but I appreciate all the early birthday wishes because I won't see you guys tomorrow. I won't be live, so I appreciate it. Workout is out. University of Miami's practice field. Yeah, the U. Is it me or Zach Wilson look more buff? Yeah, he's definitely gained some weight. He's definitely a raw, he's 22 years old? He's going to grow into his body. The more he puts on weight. Do you like wide receiver Jalen Tolbert in the draft? Maybe a third rounder. Yeah, I like him a lot. I don't know. It really depends on if the Jets draft a receiver at 10 or 35 or 38. Because if we do, then I don't really think they're going to go Jalen Tolbert in the third. They might go a different position. But I absolutely love it. This is the only way I'll be okay with Kyle Hamilton is if he drops to number 10 and the Jets take him, for sure. I just don't think the Jets will be smart to take him at number 4 because we all know there is a gigantic hole on this team that is a pass rusher. Joe Douglas said it best. The way you take away a $30 million receiver is by getting to the quarterback. And we need to get a pass rusher in the draft in order for that to happen. We have Carl Lawson. We're hopeful that he'll come back from his injury. But outside of Carl Lawson, there's not a lot of talent at that edge. Bryce Huff, he's a player that's okay in a rotation. Martin is a free agent that I think is going to be okay in the rotation, but we still don't have that blue chip guy because I'm not really putting all my eggs in the basket for Carl Lawson to be that guy. You never know what Achilles injury might do to someone. This is a new video of Zach Richie. Yeah, man, if you're just tuning in, Zach Wilson just posted this video this morning on his Instagram of him, Braxton Berrios, and Michael Carter working out together. Pretty awesome video. Really awesome edited. It just gets me excited. I mean, a Jets fan should be excited watching our guys working out together. Am I right? Love the channel, man. Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that big time. Thank you so much for the support. Happy birthday, my boy. Keep up this channel, man. You're only one of 2 I can stand to watch. That means a lot, man. I appreciate that. It really does mean a lot. All the support on the channel goes a long way. And I'm happy you guys can tolerate me because sometimes I understand I can get a little crazy. I can get a little too passionate, a little too overworked. Sometimes I try not to be delusional. I try to be as realistic as possible. And I might get, I don't know. That's just the reality of a content creator. You're naturally going to disagree with me on certain takes. but I appreciate everybody that agrees or disagrees with me. You feel me? Thibodeau and Hamilton will be my best case scenario, and trading back in for Olave maybe in the 20 range. I mean, if we can get Thibodeau and Kyle Hamilton and then trade back up for a receiver like Olave or Burks or Jameson Williams, that is best case scenario. I'm only taking Hamilton if he falls to 10. I see that Alec Pierce is definitely climbing up draft boards. 6'3", 215, 4'4", will go up and get the ball. I don't know, man. He definitely might be a second-round pick all of a sudden. You saw the Chris Sims wide receiver list, and he has him at, 3? He killed it at the Combine, and I would not be shocked if he's a second-round pick. I don't know if he's going to be the Jets pick, but he's definitely someone that's going to be a sleeper in this year's draft. Darren Orlovsky comps for London is Johnson. Garrett is CD. Olave is Keenan Allen. Who would you take? Probably Garrett Wilson out of these three. Me personally. Let's go. Welcome in, NY Jet Superfan. Welcome in. Guys, if you're just tuning into the show, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button for your boy. We got 44 likes with 130 you guys watching. We got a beautiful video on loop of Zach Wilson training with Braxton Berrios and Carter. And we got a nice Jets Q&A going, talking about everything regarding the New York Jets. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button for your boy. You know what's good. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the channel. Do you think re-signing Flacco and Mike F. and White was the best thing to do for Zach? Or would you have gone another route for his backup quarterbacks? This is indeed the best case scenario for Zach. You want continuity in the quarterback room. Zach Wilson has built a relationship with both Mike White and Joe Flacco. Zach Wilson looks up to Joe Flacco as his father, right? You saw that picture he posted for his birthday, calling him dad. And the chemistry is there, man. I feel like this is the best case scenario for Zach Wilson to keep continuity in the quarterback room. You don't want to keep, flipping around the coaching staff, the faces in the building. Like, this is, I think, the best case scenario for Zach Wilson. Williams or Wilson at 10? If Williams did not tear his ACL, I think it's a no-brainer. It's Jameson Williams. Even though he tore his ACL and he's had his schedule, I'll still lean towards Williams. If the Jets get Jameson Williams, I will be so happy. Yes, it is risky because you are rolling the dice on a player that just tore his ACL. But you see what Jameson Williams is capable of, and if he gets healthy, there's a lot of players in this league that has tore up their knee and came back and still played at a high level consistently. UK Jets fan here, sending you a very happy birthday. Keep up the good work, dude. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to this Jets fan from the United Kingdom. I appreciate you big time, man. Appreciate you. What Jet am I taking in fantasy? People that know me, I'm in multiple fantasy leagues, and the reason why I lose fantasy every year is because throughout all 3 or 4 of my fantasy leagues, I get a Jet in each one, different Jet. So one league I'll have Elijah Moore, the other league I'll have Zach Wilson and Michael Carter, the other league I'll have AJ Brown. Haha. But no, I'm bad when it comes to fantasy and my Jets. People always say, yo, keep the Jets and fantasy separate. How am I going to do that? Especially when we actually have a sick offense on the rise. You know I'm drafting CJ Uzomah or Tyler Conklin as well. Everyone listen to Sully. 127 people on the stream. Hit that like. Appreciate it. Yeah, George Pickens is another player. No doubt. Do you think there will be an opportunity for the Jets to trade Mike White to a quarterback-needy contender? I'm already see JD flacing a team for Mike White. I don't know, man. I prefer the Jets don't do this, and I would love Mike White to be the long-term answer as a backup. I think they're going to continue with Joe Flacco this year, and let's hope that Zach Wilson stays healthy and those backups don't have to touch the field. But I would rather hold on to Mike White because he showed that he can execute this offense at a high level. So I feel like the Jets would be smart to hold on to Mike White. Unless a team really needs a quarterback and they are aggressive in asking the Jets for him and Joe Douglas can get a big-time haul, then yeah, you pull the trigger. I'm not. I'm drafting Michael Carter a little too high than I should. He's going to be a beast in PPR. You kidding me? With the offensive line that we got, I don't know why you're going to stay far. If there's one player in fantasy for the New York Jets that I'm going to draft, it's Michael Carter, for sure. Like, he's going to be my running back too in at least one of my leagues, especially in PPR. Woo! The fact that Jameson is running already, I think he's definitely in discussion for first round off the board. Yeah, I agree. When is the next roundtable? Good question. Sometime leading up into the NFL draft, probably, for sure. If the opportunity comes where a trade back situation gets us a first round pick for next year, do you pull the trigger? Absolutely, man. I know some Jets fans don't want this because they want to go all in and use their assets now. But if we move back a couple slots and still get a player that we want while getting a first rounder next year, that's huge, man. Because not only is that first rounder next year going to be great just to draft 2 players next year, but it's for building ammunition for being flexible in the trade market. Because that's what all these picks are about, man. You get 2 first-round picks next year. You can package one of those first-rounders for a big-time player that becomes available in the trade market. I think he did get bigger, for sure. Richie, when we draft Breece Hall, I don't think we're going to draft him. I think we're going to draft the running back, but not that early. Hall's probably going to go in the second round. I'd be shocked if he falls to the third. He's a beast, though. I think Mike White has proven himself that he can keep our offense alive. Maybe not starter or enough for quarterback controversy with the GOAT Wilson, but for sure, I want to keep White pleased. I agree. I think Mike White needs to be the long-term answer as the backup. Would you like to see linebacker addressed in the second round? Seems like the most glaring need on defense along with pass rusher. The interesting thing about the linebacker position is us as a fan base sees the linebacker room as a big-time hole. But the Jets coaching staff doesn't see it that way. They love CJ Mosley, they love Quincy Williams, and they love having their rookie linebackers going into year number 2 in Hamza Nasruddin and Jamian Sherwood. Now, those are 4 linebackers that they're comfortable with. I do expect him to draft another linebacker, but I think the Jets coaching staff really thinks highly of this Jets linebacker core, and I would not be shocked if CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams are the 2 starting linebackers come week 1 with Jamian Sherwood and Hamza Nasruddin as the backup with a rookie. Dolphins fans call Zach Wilson Jake Cutler 2.0. Tua. That's all I got to say. Tua Tagovailoa. We need Jets media breaking news. Who are we trading for? I wish I can give you guys some breaking news. Man, oh man, do I wish I could be like, guys, breaking news. The New York Jets have just done this player. Guys, if you're just tuning into the show, we are doing a nice Jets Q&A. Remember, if you want to skip the line, Super Chats are answered first. If you guys are just tuning in, don't forget to smash that like button. We got 130 people tuning in with 65 likes. Always appreciate everybody tuning in on this Thursday afternoon show. I miss being live during the free agency frenzy because I love reacting to breaking news, and it kind of sucks that there's no more breaking news anymore. Like right now, I'm on Twitter on my computer expecting a Jet signing, and I'm like, oh wait, free agency's kind of over. I love it. Like, all I want to see is a breaking news of a trade or something. But unfortunately, we got to wait and wait and wait for that to happen. You think the Jets trade back into the first round to take Linderbaum if available? This is 100% a scenario that Jets fans have to realize is a possibility. If there's one player that I think Joe Douglas is gushing over, it's Tyler Linderbaum in this draft. Because what Tyler Linderbaum would do to this offensive line, not only for this season, but for the future, is unreal. I mean, this offensive line, as it is, looks great on paper. You add Linderbaum to replace McGovern, all of a sudden, this offensive line could potentially be top 5 in running game. In the running game, you add Linderbaum with AVT and Becton, and Laken Tomlinson, who's a Pro Bowler, and George Fant, who's a player that's coming off a dominant season. Damn. Zach is definitely getting bigger, man. Agree. Quincy Williams is over-aggressive to make up for his size and should not be a starter. Yeah, I think that he has a lot of potential. I think that he definitely seems to be over-aggressive at times. But I feel like the coaching staff believes in his development. Remember, he's still young. He's still a player that's getting better and better. He just needs to learn more discipline and learn more patience at that position. And I feel like if he can do that thing, then his potential in the linebacker spot is tremendous. We need as much playmakers that we can get, but that's not going to happen in 1 year. Yeah, I think that Joe Douglas did a great job last year of getting playmakers like Elijah Moore and Corey Davis, and Michael Carter. And this year, he went out there and addressed the tight end position. He got 2 playmakers, and we have to remember that Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzomah are the playmakers that we added. Doesn't feel that way because we even really added a running back or receiver, but the best part about the Jets playmaking-wise is we are one big-time piece away from, as Jets fans can say with confidence, that this offense can actually be legit. Yes. We are a star receiver away from this offense being legit. I'll say that with confidence. JD needs to be considering taking O-line at 4. Becton is no sure thing at this point, and everyone acting like Fenton is all-pro after one decent season. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, if Aquanu is there at 4 and Thibodeau's off the board, Joe Douglas could definitely pull the trigger on him. But the question is, who is on the bench this year? Is it Fent? Is it Becton? I don't know. It seemed like Joe Douglas is very confident with both Fent and Becton going into the season, and the Jets have a lot of holes elsewhere. The offensive line seems set. So I prefer them to go edge at this position and then go offensive tackle later on in the draft to get their swing in case one of them goes down. That can develop over time. Zach's arm strength will rise as he gets older. Rodgers' arm got stronger from college after a few years in the NFL, and he put on some more weight and muscle. Yeah, man, Zach Wilson's arm is only going to get better and more precise and accurate and more powerful. 100%. Best Jets offseason in a decade. And we haven't even got to the draft yet. We haven't got to the draft yet. Can you see the dynamic duo of Douglas and Saleh earning themselves extensions and continuity with us as Tomlin has done in Pitt, etc.? Yeah, I think that both Douglas and Saleh have everything that you would want in a head coach and GM duo. They have chemistry. They align in the same vision. They really think about the game of football the same way. And if they both get extended, that's a positive thing, man. We want continuity. We want the same people around. We want to really have Douglas and Saleh and Zach Wilson on this Jets franchise in 10 years. Because if Zach Wilson, Joe Douglas, and Robert Saleh all have their jobs in the year 2030, that means the Jets have been doing a lot of good things, right? Obviously, we're thinking way in the future right now. But that's what you want, man. That's what Jets fans have been waiting for forever. Is continuity. Not this stupid carousel of firing a new coach, firing a GM, getting a new quarterback. Let's get the GM, head coach, and quarterback position set for 10, 15 seasons. Let's hope that we already have it in place. Honestly, I like our O-line the way it is and move back into the first and get Linderbaum. We have a wall. Bro, if we get Linderbaum added to this offensive line, I don't even know what to say. Because this offensive line goes from, potentially good to potentially elite. It really does. That's how good of a prospect Linderbaum is. And that's how good the offensive line already is without him. Thoughts on Alec Lindstorm in the 4th or 5th to back up McGovern and take over next year? Yeah, I think this is something that Jets will consider. Taking the center later on in the draft to develop over time and be the starting center next year. Definitely a consideration if the Jets love him. Also, Zion Johnson's a player to look out for. What about Daniel Filelli in the 4th or 5th? I don't think he's going to last until the 4th or 5th. I think he might be a 2nd to 3rd round player, but you never know. Everyone falls. There's a lot of play that falls in the draft. I think the Jets are going to draft an offensive tackle in this draft class. No doubt about it. Because we need an offensive lineman, offensive tackle to back up Becton and Fant, right? Right now it's Connor McDermott and Adoga. We need another one. I don't feel comfortable with those two guys being the only backups because we all know Becton is coming off a really bad injury. So we do not know what's going to happen with that. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But we need to make sure that we have depth at the position because as great as the offensive line looks on paper, the only thing that really gets me worried is the depth. Jorge with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, my man. You guys sleep on rookie running back being number one running back behind this line. You mean a running back that we draft this year? You think the running back we draft this year is going to be running back 1 over Carter? Can't wait to see Zach does with his arsenal of a number 1 receiver. Davis, Moore, Berrios, Uzomah, Conklin, Carter to add another running back is revamped O-line. Facts. Yeah, I've said, man, the offense is pretty much set. We're one big-time receiver away from saying with confidence that this Jets offense could be legit. Legit! Who do you think this year's Elijah Moore is in this draft? Good question. Could be Chris Olave. It could be, I mean, in terms of like falling to the second round or like play style wise. Because you could say Dotson, I feel like is an Elijah Moore style, even Garrett Wilson. You know, that small, shifty route runner. Linderbaum is not likely better than McGovern in first year. He is small and needs to get stronger. He's a good prospect, not a great one. Creed Humphrey was better last year, in my opinion. I don't know. I definitely think that, you know, Tyler Linderbaum does have short arms, and he's a smaller traditional prospect. But I don't know. All the stuff I read about Linderbaum and all the draft scouts that know what they're talking about, saying that Linderbaum was one of the best center prospects coming out in a long time. And Creed Humphrey was dope as well. Obviously, he had a phenomenal rookie season with the Kansas City Chiefs. But remember, getting Linderbaum is for the long-term thing, right? It's not really – because you bring up a good point that McGovern might be better than him this year, but Linderbaum would develop over time and become that dominant center. Salute Richie in chat. Panama City here from Long Island. Go Jets. I'm super optimistic this season. Shout out to Ray. Appreciate it, man. I'm super optimistic as well. Let's do it. You see Jets taking a D lineman, and if so, what round? I think you mean interior defensive lineman. I think that we'll take one in the second or third round potentially to round out that defensive line. I know that we just added Solomon Thomas, but don't be shocked if you want to get one in the mid rounds. Let's see. There's no number 1 running back in this class. I wouldn't say anyone that's going to replace Michael Carter. I agree. I don't think there's a running back in this draft that the Jets will draft to be the number 1 running back over Carter. They're going to draft a player to complement Carter and have that 1-2 punch. Breece Hall, I don't see the Jets drafting him because he's going to go in the second or third round. I think the Jets are going to target a running back later, 4th or 5th round. You don't need long arms to play inside. You need power and intelligence, and that's exactly what Linderbaum has, baby. Richie, what made you start a YouTube channel? Good question, Andrew. I was in college, and I was studying video production, and I always grew up on YouTube. I watched YouTube since I was a kid, from everything, from sports to movies to video games to just everything. And I was granted access to a lot of equipment through college, and I was like, you know what? I want to talk about the Jets. And it was the year, I think it was, what year was it? I think it was Adam Gase's first year when I made a video after each game for the Jets, a preview and a reaction to each game. And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go all in and just make Jets content. And then here I am. And then I opened it up, started making Knicks stuff, started making Met stuff, opening up to other stuff eventually. I have a YouTube channel that's just about me. Then I'm going to talk about more lifestyle stuff that's not sports related. I'm not expecting you guys to watch that, but I'll probably get another niche of people tuning in. But yeah, that's my YouTube story in a nutshell, right? There's a lot more that goes into it, but I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys. What if Zach Wilson is a bust? Then he's a bust, man. That would suck, right? That would definitely suck. I'm not thinking like this. I'm thinking that he's not a bust, but you never know what can happen. What if Mac Jones continues to regress? That's a better question because he did not look good at the end of the year. And he's pretty overrated, in my opinion, Mac Jones. His ceiling is like, I feel like we've seen the best of Mac Jones already, right? Is he going to get any better? Like what type of intangibles does he have that believes that he's going to be elite? He's got a great system. He's got, and even McDaniels is gone, so who knows? Do you still have hope that Mims could be number 2 receiver for our team? No, I don't. I think Denzel Mims will be a depth piece and not really a guy that's on this team. Where are the super chats? Come on, Rich is going on vacation. It's all good, Jorge. It's all good. I'll be in Mexico this week. Chilling on the beach. I'll have to go live while I'm in Mexico, and you guys can tune in. I love it. Richie, I hope Zach, the quarterback, progresses from last year. Hopefully, Robert Saleh increases Denzel Mims' wide receiver more playing time. If he plays better along with the other wide receiver, Elijah Moore, let's go Jets. What you say? Yeah, obviously, we want to see Zach Wilson progress. I hope Denzel Mims does get more playing time, and he proves in training camp to be on the field and actually be productive because he was on the field last year and was not productive at all. And Elijah Moore is going to get better and better. Looking forward to that, Richie. Lifestyle is important. Interested in what you have to say. Thanks, man. Stay tuned. I got a lot of interesting lifestyle videos coming. Probably the summer is when I'll kick off that type of stuff. But I don't know if I'm going to market it through Jets stuff. So I don't know if you'll even be aware of it. You just have to check it out for yourselves. If we're talking running back and Breece Hall isn't available, what do you think about Pierre Strong Jr.? Yeah, I think this is a player that makes more sense because the Jets are not going to draft a running back super early. If I had to guess, they're probably going to take one in the 4th or 5th round, like a Tyler Algier or other guys like that. Should the Jets take the first wide receiver of the draft? Depends if we're not trading for one. If we don't trade for a receiver, then yeah, I think at number 10, we have a really good chance of taking a receiver. But there's a good chance that a receiver will go before the Jets at number 10 anyway, to the Falcons. If Mims is traded, what would the lowest you would trade him for? I hope the Jets do not trade Mims, actually. I hope that they hold on to him for this season to prove to be an asset and maybe be extended to be a long-term depth piece or be a guy that can, flash the potential. I don't know, man. I just don't want to see Mims traded just yet. With the healthy O-line and tight ends, the Jets are one more solid running back away from having a top-run offense. That's the thing about this offense, guys, that makes me so excited, is the offensive line is set, and the 2 tight ends is not only going to help Zach Wilson in the passing game, but it's going to help out the Jets in the run game because both of those guys in Uzomah and Conklin are dominant run blockers. So the running game is going to be fun to watch this year, especially with the addition of Laken Tomlinson. You have Tua Tagovailoa as your quarterback. Enough said. If Falcons draft Wilson at 8, who is your second wide receiver on your draft board? I love Treylon Burks. I want Treylon Burks so bad. Personally, I know some people will be like, no, Drake London. But Jameson Williams is my number 1 receiver out of anybody. For one's the first injuries, he'd be consensus like he's the pick at 10 no matter what. But his injury is definitely something, be worried about, even though I'll still draft him at 10. But we're seeing, Jameson Williams progress, and his injury is, he's ahead of schedule on his rehab. So I'd be totally okay with taking a chance on Jameson Williams. Um, 49er Media tuning in. What up, man? Welcome in. Brian Robinson, running back, Alabama in 4th round. I love this. Brian Robinson is a stud. I think he is a big-time sleeper in this draft. Also, James Cook is a guy I would love. Tyler Algier, of course. Do you think Burks is compared to Debo? It's really hard to compare anybody to Debo Samuel because he's so unique. But we can use Burks like a Debo in our system, right? That doesn't mean he's going to be Debo as in terms of production, but Burks is a guy that can play that role of big body, physical runner, big hands, go out there, 50-50 ball, good route runner, good speed. He has good game speed, right? Because the 40 time he ran a 4.5. Some people are disappointed in that, but his game speed is legit. How many picks do the Jets have in the first 3 rounds? The Jets have 5 or 4? No, they have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. They have pick 4, pick 10, pick 35, pick 38, and pick 69. 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. Whew. Wow. Let me say that again. The Jets have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. Can you imagine what we can do with those 5 players? Man. Love the channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, RKO316632. Appreciate you, my man. Burks is closer to Enunwa, and I love Quincy Enunwa. What is it about Burks that you like? I think the reason why I love Burks so much is I feel like he's a perfect complement to Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. He's a 6'3", big-bodied guy that can do a lot of things versatility-wise. He can get the ball out of the backfield. He can line up in the slot, line up on the outside. He's a guy that can go up there and grab the 50-50 ball. He's a guy that can take it to an 80-yard touchdown. He has that speed. He can take the top off the defense. He can live over the middle, and he's a big body, right? I feel like Elijah Moore is that skinny, 5'10", elite route runner that can create separation, gadget type of player. Corey Davis is that traditional outside receiver. Burks is a player that will complement them so well. He kind of reminds me of A.J. Brown more than Debo Samuel. Not saying he's like the next A.J. Brown in terms of that elite, but I think a good comparison for Burks, in my opinion, is A.J. Brown. That's 2 drafts in 1. We basically have 2 drafts in this year's draft. 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 2 fourths, 2 fifths. So, Douglas, the Rapture is saying, just throw the bag at DK Metcalf, 6'3", 230. He runs a 4.3 in the 40-yard dash. Very strong. He's a bully. Turnover TO corners and a serious threat. If the Dolphins get him, the Jets will regret it. I promise. I don't think the Dolphins are getting him. There's no chance the Dolphins are getting him. They got Tyreek. They have no more assets to give up. They're not going to pay DK and Tyreek next level money. So don't worry. The Dolphins are not going to get DK. But listen, if DK comes available and the Seahawks are like, all right, DK, we're not going to pay you. We want to trade you. He's a Jet, right? The only team that scares me of getting DK over the Jets is the Kansas City Chiefs. I heard that from a rumor that the Jets and the Chiefs are the 2 teams that have been checking in on him so far. One collab with Jet Central. I already did a collab with Jet Central. That was a couple months ago on the channel. I had him on and we did a long talk about previewing the offseason. So if you want to check that out, that is already up on my channel. Definitely want to redo it though. All 5 picks for DK? No way. I would never do that. I would not give up all 5 picks for DK. Who said that? I would give up 35 and 38 for DK right away. Or maybe just number 10. I honestly love any wide receiver at 10, but imagine if Mims turns out the receiver we thought he could be would be loaded. Yes, that is true. Hopefully that is the case. Elijah Moore is one of those guys that can play the X, Y, and Z. Let's just clone him into him multiple times. Yeah, that's the great thing about Elijah, man. He's versatile. He can line up all over the offense. It's a great thing. It's a great thing to have. Great thing to have. So, guys, we're live here on Jets Media. If you guys are not already, don't forget to hit that like button. Help me get to 100 likes. Really appreciate that. We got 140 people tuning in with 86 likes. Let's see the 100 like mark for your boy. Greatly appreciate that. Big year for Michael Carter. Oh, yeah. Michael Carter is going to explode this year with that offensive line being intact and healthy, hopefully. Unfortunately, there's nothing really crazy happening regarding the Jets in terms of rumors or reports of them trading for somebody. That would be nice, right? If the Jets all of a sudden we got news that they're trading for someone. Let's hope that it happens sometime soon, but you never know. You never know what can happen. That Tyreek Hill situation came out of absolutely nowhere. All right, guys, so I'm probably Josh asked a good question. Are you planning on hanging out with Ryan Greenbean and Matt on draft night? No, Josh, I'm actually going to be live on my channel with Ali and Jack. And I'm going to be featured on Ryan's channel for like 20 minutes or so during the draft as well. So you can come back and forth to Ryan's channel and my channel during it if you want to get two different streams, two different perspectives. Ryan invited me on the show, but I wanted to go live on my own channel because, I don't know, I did it last year and I had a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I just hit the hour mark. I usually like to go live for an hour. I appreciate all the support here on the channel. Again, tomorrow is my birthday, and then I'm going away for a week. So if you do not see consistent content, that is the reason. Your boy is out and about in another country. I'm going to bring my equipment and try to make content while I'm over there. But bear with me. So I'm excited for the Jets offseason to come to fruition and finally see what we do in the NFL draft. 4 weeks from today, we'll be talking about the draft, man. 4 weeks from today. Oh, my God. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens in the NFL draft. I appreciate all the support, guys, in the chat. It means a lot to me. Expect awesome Jets content from Mexico. Happy birthday. Have a Bruce on me. JDTS, Jess. Absolutely. Appreciate all the birthday wishes, man. Definitely need a break from all the madness, Andrew. Definitely do. I appreciate all the happy birthday wishes. I'm going to live it up tonight. Your boy's going to be hammered at midnight. So if you want to send me a tweet over at midnight, I'll try to respond to you and see if I am alive or not, right? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get too reckless. All right. Pop quiz real quick before we end the stream. I said it earlier. How old am I turning, guys? Who knows what age I am turning tomorrow? I said it in the beginning of the stream. I'm curious if anybody remembers. And if you don't remember, I'm curious your projection, your guess of how old I'm going to turn. We got the first guess of Chris saying 23. Andrew says 23. Dallas is 24. 23. 23. All right. We got people guessing. You guys are on it. We got, all right, now it's time to announce the winner of the guessing game. I am turning 24. Dallas James Santana wins. I'm 23 right now, turning 24 tomorrow. Pretty crazy stuff. I don't feel like I'm 24. What the hell? But yeah, man, appreciate all the love, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. And let's go Jets, right? Let's go Jets. Let's go make a big-time move while I'm in Mexico so I can celebrate with tequila. Appreciate all the birthday wishes. You guys are awesome. Let's go Jets. Love you all. Peace.